The connection that you have with yourself, that you have with your work, the connection you have with the people in your life is also in a particular state. You could say a particular frequency, energy, or vibration. As though fear has a certain vibration, love has a certain vibration. Think of it that way. So experientially, when you're with someone and they are feeling a lot of fear, you can feel that, right? Our ability to be empathetic, mirror neurons allow us to feel that. And when they're in a state of love or a state of real appreciation of you, let's say, you can feel that. So let's just think of it at that experiential level. Now, certain kinds of vibration or energy produce certain kinds of thoughts, certain kinds of mental states, certain kinds of actions. So there is a connection, like a cascade, from the state that we're in, state of being that we're in, the vibration that we are occupying, and how we perform and what we produce in life. So this is a very important topic. And, it is possible to become sensitive to what state am I in? Sort of what is the vibration of the energy that I'm experiencing, that I am emitting at the level of who I'm being. And that does also show up in how I'm acting. So, what do you do with all this? Well, I don't know. I think one thing we do with all this is start to pay attention to being. Literally pay attention to being, as opposed to having all of our attention on what we have or what we're doing. And I'm not saying don't put any attention on what you have or what you're doing, but maybe start to pay attention to how or to who we're being and our relationship and our connection to the key things in our life. At every moment, there is some way that we're being. We're being loving, we're being scared, we're being distracted, we're being peaceful. So there's some way that we're being. If we can become sensitive to how we are being or to who we are being, then there's an opportunity to actually alter that state. Observation, even in physics, changes state. It's a law of the universe. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. When you observe something, you alter its state. So just observing your state of being has power. And then you can begin to create practices to shift your state of being to be in alignment, both with what you want to produce and with the kind of energy you want to put out into your world. You have access to an infinite number of states of being, and they are available to you not quite at any moment, like you can shift any state of being to any other state of being in an instant. I don't think that's always true about every state of being. But in any moment, you do have access to recognizing your current state of being. That's true. And in observing it, you have the opportunity to shift it, to mold it. So that's always available. And you are, you could say, like a string on an instrument that is capable of vibrating at an infinite number of frequencies. That may not be true of a physical instrument, but think of it that way. You are a kind of instrument where you can vibrate at an infinite number of frequencies. So, recognizing and being sensitive to our state of being brings us closer to the truth of who we are. You are an infinite being capable of expressing an infinite number of ways of being. And I invite us all today to both recognize that and to capitalize on the opportunity that it is to be that, to live that. Your energy, your frequency affects the whole world around you. So I'm inviting you to work with that intentionally. I love you. Thank you for watching. I hope this empowered you in your day today. You matter. How you show up makes a difference. And you got this. Have a great day.